Ladies, 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 if you hear a man saying the words I'm going to give you, run for your life. And I want to speak to single ladies and then to the married women. I'm going to give you certain lines. If a man tells you any of these lines, run for your life. I have 3 lines for single ladies that will tell you this is a narcissist. And I have 3 lines for the married women that will tell you this is a narcissist. He will never change. You better park and run for your sanity. Let me start with the single ladies. If a man tells you any of these 3 lines, run. Number 1, if a man tells you, I can't marry a woman I have not tasted. I can't marry a woman I have not tasted. He has made it clear to you he's there for sex. There is no future with this guy. And I know some of you single ladies listening to me, you've gone through this before. For how long will you go through the same trap? Is there no room for learning? Don't you pick lessons from your past? If a man tells you clearly he can't marry you before he test drives, he is simply telling you all he wants is sex. And if that's not your interest, you want to settle down, why are you wasting one more day? Park and leave. Leave that guy alone. He is a player. Line number 2, single ladies. If a man tells you, I am not ready to settle down yet. I am not ready to settle down yet. He's just telling you, you are a sex toy. Why are you dating? Why are you meeting even in the first place? You're wasting each other's time, but actually he's not wasting his time. It's you wasting your time because you want to settle down, and then this guy is not ready to settle down. So his message is clear. He has been shopping around for a sex toy, and he landed on you. Do you want to reduce yourself to a sex toy? To be turned on and off at somebody's pleasure and will? Do you want to narrow yourself to reduce yourself to somebody's sex toy? Really? Why are you dating if your objective is not to settle down? So if he's not ready yet, why even meet him? You should be meeting guys who are who have made up their mind they want to settle down. So they're gathering data. They are collecting intelligence. They are collecting info on who they can settle with. They are checking you out. You are a potential candidate for settling down with them. So when a guy tells you outrightly he's not ready to settle down yet, then he is not done with his games. Why should you give him an opportunity to play games with you? Line number 3. If you hear this 3rd line, run for your life, single ladies. Here we go. Number 3. I can't date a woman who earns more than me. I can't date a woman who earns more than me. Well, then you know clearly you're dealing with a narcissist, an insecure person, a man who is ready to destroy your earning capacity, your productivity. This man has told you in advance he will destroy your career. He can't stomach you climbing up corporate ranks or doing better than him in business. It intimidates him. It threatens him. Today he could be earning more than you, but you can't predict tomorrow. You can't tell about tomorrow. Tomorrow, you might be one of the giants in the corporate world. A man who is outright telling you he's too insecure to live with an empowered woman. Why do you want to give him a chance to ruin your life? Believe me, there are so many men who can't stomach a woman who is doing well in the corporate world. They are narcissists. They love being worshipped. They like being seen as demigods. So if a man has outright made it clear, he's telling you basically he sees his value from what he has, from material things. If this guy's capacity to earn or his wealth is shaken, he loses his car, his house, his job, his business, he has no worth because he has attached his worth to what he has, to what he can lose, not to who he is, to material things. And money rises and falls. Empires rise and fall. Material stuff come and go. Valuables get lost. You need to attach yourself to a man who values himself for who he is, because then he values you for who you are, not for what you have. Hey, let me talk to the married women. Married ladies, remember, I fight for marriages. I speak about stability of marriages. My entire life I have published books about marriage, countless videos just to help marriages work. But a time comes when a marriage is no longer feasible, when it's not tenable to live with somebody. At some point, a marriage, it's inevitable to dissolve it. Every company has dissolution clauses. So it is with marriage. That's just a fact. There are some deal breakers, and Jesus admitted them. For example, in Matthew 5:32, Jesus said that adultery is a deal breaker. It's a reason for walking out of marriage. Yes. Jesus gave another example in Matthew 19:8. He said, look what? Moses gave a certificate of divorce because of your hardness of heart. He was talking to men who had rock-hard hearts. They were abusing women. They were insulting women. They were assaulting women. And Moses preferred to give a certificate of divorce rather than give a death certificate after a burial ceremony. So to spare women's lives, Moses decided, hey, there's some marriages we have to dissolve, otherwise I'll come for burial. Hardness of heart. Check it out in Matthew 19:8. So the ones who are married, if you're married, I believe in marriage, I believe we should rescue marriage, but there's some lines, if you hear a man mention, run for your life. So if you're married and you can hear me, if a man tells you any of these lines, you better run for your life. One, if a man tells you, I will kill you, I will kill you. If a man gives you such a threat, or I'll beat you, or I'll beat the hell out of you. If a man pronounces himself that he's ready to abuse you, I tell you, this is not a slip of the tongue. It is coming from his heart. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. He has already spoken death. If a man threatens to assault you, to beat you, if a man threatens to kill you, he will make good of his promises. A lot of men live with abusive men hoping they will change. If you are abused long enough, your life will become a cabbage. If a man abuses you for a decade, or 2 decades, 3 decades, you will become vegetative. You will never be productive again. You will never be able to stand on your feet again. You will never be able to reason soberly again. You will never see life in its proper prism, in its proper perspective any longer. If you are abused long enough, your productive prowess is destroyed. He sucks the life out of you. You no longer reason properly anymore when you become a victim of abuse. In fact, when a man threatens to abuse you, to assault you, you've got to demand in writing an apology in the presence of witnesses, because they make true their threats. This is a narcissistic statement. Take it very seriously. Number 2, if a man, tells you any of these lines, you've got to run for your life. Number 2, I can't leave her. You catch a man who is cheating on you and he tells you on the face, outrightly, I can't leave her. You know, this is no longer cheating. This is someone who is trashing you. He's telling you clearly you don't matter. Your needs don't matter to him. Your feelings don't matter to him. He's telling you you don't matter at all. When a man is interested with a woman in his life, when a man is interested with his marriage, if he makes a mistake of cheating on her, he will go any length to cover up. He will even deny doing it. Even when the evidence is overwhelming, he will deny it. He'll try to cover up. He will try to do anything humanly possible to pacify your spirit, to pacify your anger. But if a man makes it clear to you he's cheating on you, he can't leave the mistress, he can't leave this woman, he's basically telling you you're trash. That's what he's telling you. This is not cheating anymore. This has nothing to do with sex anymore. This is trashing you. He sees you as a doormat. He sees you as trash. He sees you useless. This is a demigod. This is a narcissistic person. This is somebody who has lost his mind. You know, when a man cheats on you and you catch him accidentally, that's a different story altogether. That's a marriage if the man is remorseful, he's repenting, he goes on his knees asking for forgiveness. He's also asking God for forgiveness. This is a marriage that should be restored. This is a marriage that should be given a chance. But when a man cheats on your face and makes it clear, I'm going to continue. This is my lifestyle from now henceforth. I can't leave that mistress. Make do with it. Come on. Respect your life. Respect yourself. Run for your life. Life has options. You don't have to live with it. Hey, if somebody cheats on you once, it's not your mistake. If they cheat on you the second time, the third, the fourth, the fifth time, you are stupid. You are seeing yourself as trash. You don't respect yourself anymore. Come on, come back to your senses. The third line. If a man tells you these words, the third line, you've got to run for your life. Why are you not living? If a man dares you, I don't need you. That's the door. Here is the exit door. If a man dares you that clearly, if a man dares you to leave him, leave him. If a man tells you outright to leave him, let me tell you, he's simply saying you're useless. He's done with you. He has used you enough, and now he's ready to dump you. Why do you want to live with someone who wants to dump you? You see, marriage conflict should be solved to the extent both parties are interested with the marriage. I get shocked and amused that women want to live in a marriage where the other party is not ready. A man tells you outright, let's split. Let's separate. Let's go separate ways. Let's divorce. It is the man telling you those words. Here is the exit door. Why do you want to insist being in his life? If you insist being in his life, it will graduate to abuse. He will embarrass you before everyone. The rest of your life will be utter tears. You are better off alone. You're better off as a single person than with someone who doesn't want to be with you. Don't stay where you're tolerated. Live with someone who is celebrating you, not tolerating you. You'll be surprised that there are so many other people who can't wait to have you. But right now, you have fixated your eyes on a door that has closed, that you can't see the window that is opening. Yes, God hates divorce, but it's also true God hates abuse. It's also true God hates murder. Don't be narrow and shallow in your thinking. God has not called you to die in your marriage. God has called you to live in a good marriage. Being abused in your marriage is not suffering for the kingdom. Being persecuted in your marriage is not earning you points in the kingdom of God. It's a reflection of your foolishness. Your first responsibility is to your own mental well-being. No one is responsible for your peace. No one is responsible for your joy. No one is responsible for your mental well-being. The first law of nature is the law of self-preservation. No one can preserve your life. Your first responsibility in this life is to yourself. That's why Jesus said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. You've got to love yourself first. You can't share love with others until you learn to love yourself. You will never get along with other people when you tolerate any one person to abuse you, to trash you, to look down upon you. You've got to stand up for yourself. No one can stand up for you if you can't stand up for yourself. Domestic violence takes place to the latitude it is permitted. We just can't blame the abusers. We also have to look at the other side of the coin about the abused. You tolerate it for so long. Both the abuser and the abused are to blame for domestic violence. The first time he hit you, you're not responsible. You didn't know. You didn't see it coming. But the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, you are also to blame for being assaulted and for being abused. Domestic violence is not a one-way traffic. The first time, you're not to blame. You didn't see it. The first time someone calls you names, you didn't know it. But if they repeat the fourth time, the fifth time, the sixth time, They are doing it because you allow it, because you permit it, because you accept it. It has become your new norm, your new lifestyle. And you've got to free yourself from your self-imposed prison. You've got to break through the cage. You've got to prison break and free yourself from the bondage you put yourself in, from your self-imprisonment. No one will rescue you from this jail of self-imprisonment. You've got to stand up for yourself, lady. Your own sanity, your own mental well-being is paramount. If you continue living in such a toxic environment, you will not only be depressed, but you'll take away your life. For what? This is not suffering for the kingdom of God. It's suffering for stupidity. You have a reason to stand up for yourself. Anyway, I have a book, Dad, Sex and Marriage Counseling. It's available in Amazon.com if you want to hear more of this type of counseling. I have written many books. They're available for you. If you think this video is important to a woman you know, share this video with them. Give me your comment, let me know your thoughts, and share this video with another woman. There are ladies out there who are dying in silence, and we need to rescue them. Share this video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notified when I upload new videos. I upload new videos every week. You don't want to miss out on my latest videos. I wish you the very best in your life. Get back to your senses and rescue yourself from this self-imposed prison. You are born free. You've got to live free in a partnership with somebody who needs you, somebody who celebrates you, somebody who is interested in living with you in as much as you're interested in living with them. Marriage is a partnership. It's not a prison. Cheers and all the best.